One of the worst feelings in both football and in life is the feeling that you're not progressing at the thing that you care about the most. In today's video, I'm going to answer a simple but definitely not straightforward question of how do you actually improve? 3 years ago, I was an amateur goalkeeper. If I told anyone right now that I would be playing semi-professional football out in Spain as a midfielder, they would have laughed at me. And to be fair, I would have laughed at myself as well. My technical ability was really poor. I struggled with basic things like dribbling and passing, and my physicality was awful. I was weak and I was unfit. So how did I go from where I was then to where I am now? Well, to be honest, I wasn't really good enough to play football with other people. So I played football by myself. Well, apart from every week playing five-a-side with my dad, who was 60 at the time, and his friends. And to be fair, I did feel like Ronaldo. But apart from that midweek five-a-side match against guys who were over double my age, my fundamental technical progression was done alone, through solo training. Every single evening after I would come home from work, I would go into the garden and play football by myself, kicking the ball against the wall, taking a touch to turn, getting a few touches out my feet, turning again, and then repeating that entire process over and over and over again. This work by myself, working on my fundamental technical ability, allowed me to return to university for my final year and play at a really good level of amateur football as a central midfielder. So the question is, how did I improve by so much in such a short amount of time? Upon reflection, the first thing that was obviously important and something that you already know is important is consistency and the power of compounding. In his book, Atomic Habits, James Clear demonstrates that if you improve by 1% every single day for a year, you will be 3,778% better than you were at the start of the year. I'll be so real with you guys, I'm not going to go into the maths. But basically, if you improve by 1% every single day, you're not just improving on where you were when you started. You're actually improving on your improvements that you've made as well. This compounding effect leads to explosive and exponential growth as long as you stay consistent. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but I was actually using the power of compounding in a really effective way to develop my football skills. If you watch any kind of football match, the majority of actions take place away from the two goals and outside of both boxes. The primary actions in these areas in possession of the football is simply to control and pass the ball, something that I was improving on every single day. But that's enough about me. Now let's understand how you can apply this to your own game. For most of you watching, you're going to be in a far better technical place than I was 3 years ago. So I would be surprised if you need that fundamental level of technical improvement with the stage that you're at. You probably don't need to be playing 5-yard passes into the wall along the ground. What you do need to do is pick the most relevant aspect to your game, which is going to elevate your performances during competitive 11-a-side football. Work on it by yourself and work on it every single day. Now, the reason I say by yourself is because it gives you ultimate control over your training schedule and the ability to stay consistent. Your friend may not always be available and your dad might not always be around to help you. That being said, obviously if you can train with other people every single day and you know what you're going to work on, that's probably better.
As soon as you take your touch, I'm rushing into it. Oh, fuck.
No matter whether you're working with someone else or by yourself, just make sure that you pick an aspect of your game that is most relevant to your success and performance. A good question to ask yourself is, if you could pick one area of your game that would elevate your performances to a new level, what would that be? For a central midfielder, maybe that looks like working on your left foot. If your left foot isn't as good as your right, then having that technical repetition 10-20 minutes a day, improving your fundamental passing ability will probably open up a whole host of options for yourself when you're playing in the middle of the pitch. For a winger, that might be practicing dribbling past a set of cones on the outside and whipping across into the box. Whatever you choose, try to keep this skill as focused as possible on the scenarios that you're going to find yourself in during matches. For example, a centre-back is probably going to have to head the ball quite often, a centre-mid is going to have to pass the ball quite often, and a winger might cross or shoot quite often. I say that while assuming that you train to become effective on the football pitch, not so that you can train to spin your leg around a football 5 times in the air to try and look cool. But yeah man, that's it for today's video. If you want to know what to work on, then check out this video over here. It will help you to reflect, understand yourself as a player, and understand what steps you need to take to really improve. If that isn't the video that's right there, it's because I haven't posted it yet, so go and check out my highlight reel instead and watch me ball out. Let me know in the comments if you found this video helpful. If you think it's a bit shit, then I probably won't make another one like it. But if you did enjoy it, what are you doing, man? Run up the engagement for me, smash the like button, spam the comments, subscribe, everything, man. The algorithm needs to know. But nah, in all seriousness, I know I look like a crackhead. I'm gonna get a trim soon, don't worry. I love and appreciate every single one of you.